So next question is a very important current affair. Okay, so there is, because of this PMKS fund, Prime Minister National Relief Fund also was in news. Okay, so this question was set based on that. Okay, so in the next two questions we are discussing both Prime Minister National Relief Fund and PMKS fund. So first we will have an idea what is this Prime Minister's National Relief Fund is all about. So you need to idea that this Prime Minister's National Relief Fund was set up in 1948, long back in 1948, when Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was the Prime Minister. So basically this initially Prime Minister National Relief Fund was established in 1948 mainly through public contribution, okay, to assist displaced person from Pakistan. Okay, so initially this fund, which will be a public contribution fund, is aimed at helping those who are displaced displaced persons from Pakistan, to assist displaced persons from Pakistan. But later the resources of this National Relief Fund are utilized primarily to provide immediate relief to families of those killed in natural calamities. Okay, so currently National Relief Fund is used for families, to provide relief to families of those killed in natural calamities like floods, cyclone, earthquakes, etc. So people who have lost their life due to natural calamities, as well as to the victims of major accidents and riots. Okay, so major accidents, riots, natural calamities, when the people lose their lives, this relief fund will be used to support them, to provide immediate relief for them. Okay, and this fund is also used to meet expenses. Okay, this fund is also used to meet expenses for treatments like, okay, this National Relief Fund is also used to for treatments like heart surgeries, kidney transplantation, cancer treatment, acid attack, etc. Okay, so National Relief Fund is also used for treatment like heart surgeries, kidney transplantation, cancer treatment, acid attack, etc. Okay, so have an idea. This National Relief Fund is basically a contribution from the public. Okay, now contributions flowing out of budgetary sources from the government or from the balance sheets of the public sector undertaking are not accepted. Okay, so it means that this fund is not maintained by budgetary support. So if the fund is coming, if this fund is supported by from budgetary support, this fund will not accept it. This fund is not through budgetary support, it is voluntary by the public. Okay, it's through public support. Similarly, public sector undertaking, if they are providing any help to this fund, that will also not be accepted. So public sector undertaking support or the budgetary support will not be accepted by this fund. Okay, and similarly conditional contributions. Okay, conditional contributions, like the donor is saying that, okay, donor specifically saying that the contribution which he is making should be for a particular purpose. So such type of conditional contribution, okay, any conditional contribution where the donor is saying that this money should be used for a particular purpose will not be accepted under this fund. That is another important point to be noted down. And this fund, Prime Minister National Relief Fund, will accept fund only if it is voluntary donation. Okay, so Prime Minister National Relief Fund will only accept donations by individuals and institutions if it is voluntary. You also need to keep in mind, and recently the government has set up a fund in order to deal with corona or COVID-19 epidemic. Prime Minister Citizen Assistance and Relief in Emergency Situation Fund, also called as PMKS Fund. So PMKS Fund is basically a public charitable trust and is set up as a dedicated national fund to deal with any kind of emergency or distress, especially to deal mainly. So even though it is saying that it is a dedicated national fund to deal with any kind of emergency or distress. Okay, so this was set up very recently with Prime Minister as the chairman, and it is a public charitable trust, and this fund, it's a dedicated national fund for to deal with any kind of emergency or distress. Now we'll solve the question. This fund is set up as a public charitable trust fund, and is specially meant for COVID-19 similar pandemic situation. So this statement is wrong. This is not about Prime Minister National Relief Fund. It is about PM CARES Fund. This statement is about PM CARES Fund. So first statement is wrong. Contributions flowing out of budgetary sources or from the public sector undertaking are not accepted by this fund. That we know. It is correct statement. So answer will be B, 2 only.